Okay, so have you ever stopped to think about how rich looks to someone really young, like a kindergartner?
Oh, yeah.
What does wealth even mean before you have all the adult ideas about money and assets and stuff?
It's a great question because their understanding, it's all built on what they can actually see,
Right,
what they touch,
right.
and crucially, how those things impact what they're allowed to do. It's super concrete.
Exactly. And that's really what we're diving into today. We're using a source that, seems pretty simple, but it's actually packed with some surprising stuff.
Mm.
It's excerpts from the kid's book, Junie B. Jones is a Party Animal.
Ah, Junie B. And yeah, this deep dive, it's not just about like the story itself. It's using her kind of unfiltered view
Totally.
to unpack some, well, pretty complex ideas, actually.
Hmm.
Friendship, class dynamics, rules,
Yeah.
comfort, even, all
Mhm.
through the eyes of an almost 6-year-old on this sleepover adventure.
Yeah, our mission is basically to pull out those little nuggets. We're stepping right into her world afternoon kindergarten, her best friend Grace, this other friend Lucille, and it all leads up to this big sleepover.
Right. So first you meet Junie B. Jones. She's almost 6. Afternoon kindergarten, rides the bus with Grace. And she's very clear about the name,
Oh, yeah.
Junie B. Jones. The B is Beatrice, but she just likes B.
Just be. And right off the bat, the book draws this contrast, doesn't it, about nanas.
Mm-hmm.
Junie B has a plain old, regular house nana. Grace's nana, she has a condo in
What's
Florida.
up? Maybe.
Maybe. But then there's Lucille's nana, immediately gets tagged as the Richie nana,
And the first, like, solid evidence of this richness, it's the transport.
the car.
Yeah, Junie B's on the bus, but Lucille's Nana pulls up in this big gold car, which Junie B brilliantly calls a Cadillac.
A Cadillac classic. It immediately tells you rich looks different, bigger, shinier.
Definitely grander. And the story really kicks off with that visual,
Yeah.
seeing the Cadillac next to their bus.
Oh, she gets so excited, banging the window, shouting.
And the Nana just speeds off. Junie
Yeah.
B's left wondering, like, why'd she zoom away?
Which leads to this moment of just pure 5-year-old logic.
Oh, yeah.
They see the car parked at school later, so Junie B and Grace, they just walk right up,
Yeah,
open the door, introduce themselves to this, probably very surprised
I
Nana,
bet.
assure her they won't harm her, and climb right into the back seat.
Just like that. No hesitation.
None. Just pure curiosity, right? Let's check this out.
Wow. And then inside, her description.
Mm.
It tells you everything about how she sees this rich place.
Mm.
She's rubbing the rich velvety interior, puts her cheek on the oolah seats. It's all about the feel, the texture, the, unexpected luxury of it all.
But this intrusion, it doesn't go over well with Lucille.
Oh, I can imagine.
She gets instantly protective, possessive even, shouting, "Don't call her Nana. She's my Nana, not your Nana."
Right. So even at 5, there's this, like, sense of ownership and status tied to the richness.
But the Nana's reaction is interesting here.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem annoyed. She actually says the little friends are darling.
Okay.
And Junie B, who's never short on confidence,
Never.
she just leans right in. "Yes, Lucille, I am darling. Plus that Grace is darling. And so back off. Right, Nana?"
Huh. What does the Nana do?
She just gives these loud hoots of laughing, which, of course, totally wins Junie B over,
Instantly best friends.
pretty much. Declares her the friendliest Nana, and boom, asks if they can visit the Richie house.
Bold move.
So that first impression, it's actually kind of warm, full of possibility, Even with Lucille being possessive, this rich world seems initially welcoming.
But that initial buzz, it kind of wears off fast, doesn't it? Back at school.
Oh, yeah. Lucille is still mad. She's scooting away from Junie B, pushing her hand away.
Proper silent treatment.
Total silent treatment. But Junie B is, well, she's persistent.
She really is.
Tries everything. Compliments the sweater, touches the sequins, calls them her favorite little shiny, roundish, beady things.
Oh my goodness.
Even tries tickling and swinging the ponytail. Just a classic kid trying to make up stuff.
Which inevitably pushes Lucille too far.
Yep. Leads to the big outburst, "Stop touching me." And of course, the teacher, Mrs. L, comes right over.
Naturally.
And this leads to a classic Junie B language moment.
Oh.
She insists they weren't fighting, just having a loudish conservation.
Conservation.
Yeah, Mrs. corrects her. No, it's conversation. Conservation is when people save something.
Okay.
So Junie B's example of conservation. She shouts across the room to Grace, "Grace, tell her how I save you a seat on the bus."
Oh, bless her heart. That's literal.
Total literal. Mrs. just mutters she needs a vacation, which, honestly, Fair enough.
You can see why. So what was Lucille actually mad about? Does it come out?
It does during recess,
Uh-huh.
and it gives us another angle on what rich means to her.
Oh.
She says Junie B and Grace getting in the car ruined everything. Why? Because her Nana was apparently almost going to say yes to getting her a little white poodle. Ah, so the car thing derailed the poodle plan.
Exactly. For Lucille, rich equals getting the things you want, specifically a poodle. And Junie B's spontaneous fun interfered with that.
Which makes sense why she'd be mad. And how did Junie B and Grace react to this?
They feel very glum again, naturally. Leads them to call their own nanas duds because they're just regular nanas.
Ouch. Harsh, but you can see the comparison they're making. This Richie Nana seems to have the power to grant wishes, like poodles.
Right, and Lucille kind of softens a bit then, apologizes about their regular nanas, but then reinforces her point. My nana usually gives me whatever I want.
Okay, so that's the core belief there. Rich means getting whatever you want.
Yep. And that sparks Junie B's next great idea, pops right out of her thin hair, as she says.
What is it this time?
They should go over to Lucille's house to help beg for the poodle.
Begging. As a team.
Yep. Maybe even spend the night so they can beg the whole entire evening.
Wow. Okay. How does that land?
Grace is instantly in. When can we come? Junie B's free Saturday.
And Lucille.
She hesitates for like a second, then gets super excited because she remembers her family's away that weekend.
And perfect opportunity.
Exactly. They can beg your nana with positively no interruptions. The shared goal, the uninterrupted begging time. It seals the deal.
And Junie B.
Declares herself the brains of this outfit. High fives all around. They're officially going to the nanas.
The begging mission is a go.
It moves fast from there. Friday, the call comes. Lucille's nana invites Junie B for the sleepover on Saturday.
And Junie B's reaction.
Pure, unfiltered joy, zooming around, shouting, "I'm spending the night!" Tries to tell her baby brother Ollie, even though he's asleep.
That sounds about right. Which probably gets her mother's attention.
Oh, definitely. Mother swishes her out of Ollie's room, asks the classic parent question, how many times?
Have I told you? Yeah.
Junie B's answer, a million bazillion? But that is just a ballpark figure.
Using her new words, even if mom's probably too tired to appreciate the vocabulary lesson.
Probably. But okay, sleepovers need parent approval.
Yes!
Gotta get the sign off.
So Junie B goes into full-on begging mode, hugging both parents' legs so they literally can't shake her off, promises to be good.
Did it work?
It did, but, and this is a big but, it comes with a condition.
There's always a catch.
She has to agree to the rules.
The rules, okay, this sounds important. This is where rich might start to meet, like, reality.
You really have to hear this list. It's something else.
Lay it on me.
Okay. No running, no jumping, no shouting, no squealing, no hollering, no spying, no arguing, no fighting, no cheating at games, no talking back to the nana, no breaking other people's toys, no grumping, no crying, no fibbing, no tickling people when they say no, no staying up late, and absolutely no headbutting.
Whoa. Okay, that's comprehensive. That's basically a list of don't be a 5-year-old.
Pretty much, and Junie B's reaction, perfect. A big sigh, and then she says, that doesn't actually leave me much to work with.
Yeah, no kidding. That's the key insight, isn't it?
Yeah.
This perceived freedom of being rich suddenly comes with this incredibly dense rule book.
Exactly. Mother's just like, take it or leave it, firm.
And Junie B.
She's so excited for the sleepover, she shouts, take it! But you already feel it, don't you? This house might be less about freedom, more about control.
Yeah, the strings are definitely attached. So Saturday morning, packing time.
Packing time. And Junie B's approach, it tells you everything about what she values. Comfort, her personal stuff.
How so?
She wants to use a big plastic bag initially. Tries to pack like a throw rug.
A throw rug.
And her stuffed elephant, Philip Johnny Bob.
Of course, Philip Johnny Bob has to come.
But the best part is Philip Johnny Bob is apparently worried about suffocation in the bag.
Oh no.
So Junie B takes scissors and cuts air holes for him. It's so sweet and practical in her own way. Shows how much she cares about her thing.
That's adorable. But probably not the most efficient packing method.
No. Mother steps in, repacks the essentials, proper suitcase, sleeping bag, declares her all set. But Junie B's idea of set was clearly different.
Right. And then comes the wait.
Yeah.
The wait for 3 o'clock.
Ugh. The longest wait ever when you're a kid, right? The book captures it so well, watching cartoons, sitting on the step for hours, swinging, reading, trying to count super high.
Time just crawls.
It really emphasizes how much she's looking forward to the experience. The anticipation is huge.
More than the destination itself, maybe.
Maybe. Finally, the gold car pulls up.
The Cadillac arrives.
Yes. Junie B lets out this thrilled yell, runs, hugs the Nana, waiting for you the whole livelong day. Pure enthusiasm.
And Mom has to step in.
Yep. Gently pulls her off, just a reminder of all that energy packed inside.
And there's a surprise in the car.
Yeah. Grace and Lucille are already there.
Okay.
And Junie B's first instinct, try to tickle them.
Right after agreeing to the no tickling if they say no rule.
Exactly. A little preview that sticking to that massive list might be tricky.
I sense foreshadowing. So they get in the car.
And Junie B immediately starts bouncing on the soft seat, hits her head on the roof.
Ouch.
Nana gasps, but Junie B's just like, didn't even faze me. Brushes it right off.
But maybe another hint. The house looks soft, luxurious. But there might be unexpected bumps. Or ceilings.
Definitely. So on the way, Lucille gets right back to business. The poodle mission.
Ah, yes, the begging contract.
She's whispering urgently, beg for my poodle, you promised.
How did Junie B and Grace feel about this now?
They kind of look at each other, admit, at least to themselves, they didn't actually want to do that particular thing anymore.
The spontaneous fun was one thing, planned begging is another.
Right. But Lucille keeps poking them, so they give it a shot.
How does the begging go?
Oh, it's classic Junie B delivery. Lucille wants a poodle, apparently, and so could you buy her one, do you think?
Just like that.
Grace chimes in, too, explaining it was kind of the condition for the sleepover. It's not exactly heartfelt, more like fulfilling an obligation.
Okay. And the Nana's response.
Yeah.
Does the poodle dream live on?
Reality check time.
Yeah.
The Nana's mouth apparently opens wide, and she just lays it out. She's allergic to dogs.
Allergic. Well, that's that then.
Pretty much. A poodle is out of the question, I'm afraid, she says.
So much for rich means I get whatever I want. Even Richie Nanas have allergies.
Exactly. Junie B and Grace sort of softly relay the news. Lucille kicks her feet, demands they beg harder,
Denial.
then gets sour. I knew that dumb idea wouldn't work. A bit of disappointment, maybe a tiny flicker of understanding that it wasn't going to happen.
Okay, so poodle mission officially failed. What about arriving at the house itself?
Oh, the arrival is quite dramatic. They pull up to this big iron gate. Grace says it looks like a castle gate. Lucille's quick to correct her proudly. It is my house.
Setting the stage.
Nana pushes a button, gate opens like magic. They drive down this long driveway
Building the anticipation.
to this big, beautiful house. And inside, even beautifuler.
Beautiful Earth, love it.
There's a long row of stairs, big bowl of flowers, and this giant sparkly ceiling light made out of glass. Junie B says it takes my breathing away.
Wow. So the initial impression is pure awe.
Totally. And Lucille just drinks it in, sings that, see, I told you I was rich.
Victory lap.
Then comes the house tour. And it just emphasizes the sheer scale of it all.
What kind of rooms are we talking?
Living room, dining room, kitchen, patio, 2 offices, family room, pool room, outside pool, hot tub, library, gym.
Okay, I get it. It's huge.
Nana's room, parents' room, fancy gold bathroom with a jacuzzi, brother's room, and a whole bunch of guest rooms. It's overwhelming.
So much space. And then they get to Lucille's room.
Lucille's princess bedroom, pink canopy bed, pink silk everything, pink phone, plush pink rug, pink wallpaper, plus TV, stereo, computer,
The whole 9 yards. And toys.
big stuffed animals, including a giraffe that's literally bigger than Junie B.
Whoa, so Junie B and Grace must want to dive right in.
That's their instinct to play.
Here it comes.
Lucille shouts immediately, no, stop, don't, you're not allowed to touch them. They're just for show.
Just for show. The giant giraffe.
Apparently, because they were expensive, they costed my Nana a fortune.
Wow. Okay, that's a huge moment right there. The amazing things. Not for playing with, just for looking at.
Exactly. Wealth suddenly creates these barriers, not invitations, and you feel Junie B and Grace's disappointment.
I bet. What's next? The bed.
Yep. They try to sit on the bed. Same reaction. No! Get up. You're not allowed to sit there. That bedspread is just for show. It's silk. Can't get it soiled.
So they have to jump off.
Spring right off. The luxurious things are dictating their behavior, making them anxious.
Even potentially fun things like, does she have cool gadgets?
She has this professional makeup mirror with million bazillion lights like movie stars use.
Okay, that sounds fun.
They start making funny faces in it, but Lucille shuts it down fast. It is not a toy.
So everything cool is off limits. What's the vibe then?
They end up just standing very still, not touching anything. And Junie B has this quiet thought, this is going to be a long evening.
Yeah, you can see why. All this amazing richness, but it just makes you feel restricted and uncomfortable. Not fun at all.
It really looks like the evening's headed for total boredom, trapped by all this untouchable stuff. But then, a shift.
Okay.
The Nana comes back, and she's got a box of old evening gowns. Old as the hills, she says, but quite stunning.
Ah, dress up. Okay, this sounds promising. Something they can actually interact with.
Exactly. This is where the rich setting finally offers something for play, not just display.
So they dive in.
Oh, yeah. Lucille picks pink. I'm Cinderella. Grace gets blue. I'm the fairy godmother.
And Junie B still feeling left out.
Maybe for a second thinking she's stuck being the ugly stepsisters, but then she finds it. A feather boa.
Ooh, dramatic potential.
Long and silky and softy, and the Nana seems genuinely happy to see it. My old feather boa, I haven't seen that thing in years.
So some expensive-ish things have good memories attached, not just don't touch rules.
Seems like it. And the boa totally inspires Junie B. She invents a new character.
Who is she now?
Florence, the famous singer, performing show tunes from the hit musical Annie. Her friends are like, what singer? But she doesn't care. She's found her fun.
Good for her. Using imagination, even in this fancy place.
Right. So you get this scene. Cinderella and the fairy godmother going to the ball while Florence belts out, the sun will come out tomorrow. Play has finally broken through.
That's much better. What about dinner? Still fancy.
Well, the table is fancy. Long, shiny table. But the meal, surprisingly simple.
Oh, yeah.
Beans and franks. Junie B's favorite kind of home cooking.
Beans and franks. Really?
Yep. Nana even gave the cook the night off, maybe trying for a bit of normalcy.
Interesting contrast.
Yeah.
But the fancy stuff probably comes back, right? The plates, the glasses.
Oh, absolutely. The beautiful sparkly glasses are the Nana's best crystal glasses.
Mhm.
Very expensive. Lucille's excited. Junie B tries to be. But you feel that tension again. The value.
Inevitably.
Wow.
Junie B's glasses, very heavy. It slips, falls, breaks.
Lots of pieces. Lucille shouts, oh no, you broke it. Exactly what everyone feared.
Nana's reaction.
Her face gets reddish and scrunchy, clearly stressed. Junie B's apology is super soft. The fun immediately drains away.
And does it stop there? Or is it a pattern?
It keeps going. Frank spills on the good linen tablecloth from Ireland.
Oh, dear.
Chocolate ice cream for dessert. A teeny plop lands on the chair cushion.
This poor kid is just navigating a minefield.
Totally. Nana's patience is clearly gone, calls her a bull in a china shop. Junie B loses her appetite, stomach in a tight knot.
Yeah, that dinner scene. It really shows how being around all those expensive things can just create massive anxiety. Fear of messing up. It ruins the simple pleasure of eating, even favorite food.
Definitely. The stuff isn't serving them. They're trying to serve the stuff by not breaking it.
So, is the fun over for good?
Thankfully, no. After dinner, back in Lucille's room, things actually get funner.
Yeah.
Because Lucille lets them play with games from her closet. Games that weren't even expensive.
Ah, the non-precious items save the day.
Exactly. Things like chutes and ladders, Twister, Bingo, Candyland. Stuff you're meant to handle and use.
Normal kid games. Accessible fun.
And playing these, Junie B has this moment of pure relief. I didn't even break anything. She thinks, I think I'm getting the hang of this party.
Ah, the anxiety finally lifts because the stakes are lower. She can just play.
Right. Then it's pajama time. Another visual contrast.
Let me guess. Junie B's are comfy, Lucille's are fancy.
You got it. Junie B's are biggish and baggish, her comfortable favorites. Grace has neon green polka dots, very colorful. Lucille, a beauteous pink satin nightie, makes her feel like a gorgeous model.
And the Nana's reaction to the comfy PJs.
Polite, but maybe a little strained. How very dot charming. How very dot colorful. Definitely a difference in values comfort versus looking good. Okay, so time for bed. Does the silk bedspread come off?
Oh, yes. Nana carefully removes the precious silk bedspread. Time to get your beauty sleep, princess. Tucks Lucille in. Junie B and Grace are in sleeping bags on the floor and gives the final order. Not one more peep. Not one more peep. Famous last words with the tired 5-year-old.
Exactly. Junie B is actually scared by how stern the Nana was, but Lucille, she's not ready to sleep.
Restless.
Yeah. She starts it. A teeny voice goes, peep.
Oh boy.
Junie B and Grace giggle. They join in. Even Philip Johnny Bob gets a beep. It becomes this shared, slightly naughty thing.
A bit of rebellion letting off steam.
Totally. They notice Lucille's getting peeping out of control, saying that being overly tired makes your brain go silly.
Which it does the Nana hear.
Oh, the peeping escalates until, bam, the door opens. A final booming silence sends them scrambling under the covers.
Okay, that probably worked. For a bit.
For a bit. But the energy is still there. Lucille's still awake, twirling around, invites them onto her bed, which Junie B notes is bouncy. Lucille wants them to watch her bounce a teeny bit, but then remembers, oh wait, this bed is for beauty sleep only.
Another restriction. Even the bed is too precious.
But Junie B, noticing it's bouncy, that plants an idea. Lucille gets this sneaky smile, whispers the real plan.
Yes.
They're gonna really, really bounce, but not on her bed. In a big guest room, one with a giant bed made for tall company.
Brilliant. Find a space where the rules feel less present, less precious.
Exactly. A hidden zone for fun.
Yeah.
They run to the giant bed and just jump and jump. Junie B's even singing, jumping, jumping, jumping on the giant bed.
Pure joy, finally letting loose.
But then she suddenly remembers.
Uh-oh.
The rules?
Mother and Daddy said no jumping. She actually stops. Tells the others they have to stop too because it's polite to follow the rules she agreed to.
Wow, that's actually quite responsible of her. But kind of a buzzkill.
It would be, except Grace has the breakthrough.
Yeah.
Still bouncing slightly, Grace asks, who's jumping? I'm not jumping, I'm bouncing.
Bouncing, not
The
jumping.
loophole.
Revolutionary. Junie B's face lights up, hugs Grace. Mother and Daddy didn't say I couldn't bounce.
Permission granted by semantics.
Exactly. So they bounce and bounce and bounce, singing, sweating, just pure physical joy, a total release from all the earlier tension.
That sounds amazing. What happens when they finally collapse?
Junie B flops onto this plumpery pillow, declares it the most plumpery pillow ever.
Plumpery.
Plumpery. Lucille explains they're handmade in Sweden, so still expensive probably, but right now it's just about the comfort.
The plumperiness is key.
Which leads, naturally, to
Dual fight.
pillow fight. Junie B swings one playfully at Grace, realizes these plumpery pillows don't hurt people. Grace hits back. Soon they're all whacking each other. Very fun.
Messy, loud fun, everything the house seemed designed to prevent.
Exactly. And then the climax. Junie B's pillow rips. She didn't even know it happened at first.
Oh no, feathers.
Feathers everywhere. A million bazillion feathers filled the whole air. Junie B thinks it looks like it's snowing. Chaos. Joy.
Yeah.
Total opposite of just for show.
And the Nana. Does she walk in on Feathergeddon?
Of course. Door swings open. Nana sees Junie B holding the evidence, the ripped pillow, feathers drifting down.
What does Junie B say?
Nervously greets her with, we seem to be having a little bit of a feather problem in here.
Understatement of the year. Nana's reaction.
She just takes the pillow and hides her face in it for a real long time. Just speechless, maybe, exasperated, resigned, who knows.
Maybe just accepting that kids, even in a rich house, are going to find a way to be kids. Mess included.
Maybe so. After that, they're quietly taken back to Lucille's room. Sleeping bags, bed.
And the final instruction.
Same one. Not one more peep. The energy's finally contained.
But does the peeping stop?
Well, Junie B's quiet and scared at first, but then it starts again. Quieter this time, Lucille's keeny voice.
Like a little secret code now.
Yeah, Junie B and Grace join in softly, a small act of connection after all the restrictions and the wild fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So morning finally comes.
Morning comes, very early, still dark out, and Junie B's first thought, I'm really, really hungry.
Yeah. After that anxious dinner, she probably didn't eat much.
Exactly. Basic needs are kicking in. Her focus is totally on food, something that wasn't easy or comfortable in this rich place.
So she wakes the others.
Wakes Lucille, wakes Grace. Mission, eat. They even go wake the Nana.
How does that go? Gently.
Well, they shake her real gentle, whisper. She's snoring. They pull her up, turn on a bright light. It's pretty direct. They need breakfast.
Hunger is a powerful motivator. Where do they eat? Back at the scary dining table.
Oh yeah, dining room table again. And this time, brand new china bowls you bought in France. Lucille calls them her favorites.
Oh no, not again. Precious bowls.
Junie B feels that knot in her stomach immediately. The anxiety floods back.
Understandably.
She actually asks the Nana for a plastic cereal bowl, saying it's more my style.
Wow, that's a direct statement, isn't it? A plea for comfort over fanciness.
Totally. But the Nana just rolls her eyes, says she doesn't own plastic bowls, Reinforces that gap between Junie B's world and this one.
So she has to use the china.
Yep. And the orange juice comes in teeny crystal glasses again. Junie B is so stressed about spilling, she decides to just stand up and not eat her cereal.
She won't even eat because she's scared of breaking something. That's
Yeah.
really sad, actually.
It is. It shows how wealth, through these objects, can actively take away from basic comfort and even nourishment for a kid.
Does she eat anything?
The Nana, maybe sensing the issue, brings her a banana, calls her kind of nicer for that. Junie B eats the banana. Very careful. No spills.
Phew. Okay. Then pickup time. Mom arrives.
Mom arrives at 9, compliments the lovely home, leans in to smell the big bowl of flowers,
Another beautiful, fragile thing.
and Junie B, having learned the hard way, yells, "No! Don't! They are just for show, probably."
Oh my goodness. Protecting her mom from the house rules.
Exactly. Pulls her mom towards the door, worried she might break something. She's internalized all that anxiety from the rich house.
Wow. So leaving. How does it feel?
Junie B runs to their car, rubs the back seat, notes it's not as soft as the Nana's, still noticing textures, but the overwhelming feeling, relief. "It's good to be back," she says.
Just relief, despite all the amazing stuff she saw.
Yeah, the beauty, the scale, none of it outweighs the feeling of being back in her own, presumably less fancy but safer feeling world, and she's still hungry.
Right. The breakfast anxiety meant she barely ate.
But that hunger sparks one last great idea, and this one is all about comfort.
What is it?
Stop at Grandma Miller's for blueberry pancakes, her absolute favorite breakfast.
Ah, perfect. Simple comfort food.
Mom turns the car around. They go, Junie B eats a million bazillion pancakes and drinks her orange juice from a plastic glass.
A plastic glass.
Her reaction, hooray for plastic! It's like the ultimate victory over the crystal and china anxiety.
That's fantastic. And that leads to her final thought.
Her simple, really profound conclusion after the whole wild ride, I think I like my regular Nana just perfect.
And that just sums it all up, doesn't it? The Ritchie house seemed amazing at first, but it came with untouchable things, endless rules, constant anxiety. Real fun happened in the gaps, the dress-up, finding loopholes like bouncing, the pillow fight, and in simple stuff like beans and franks and blueberry pancakes.
Barbara Park, the author, even reflected on it, saying the adventure felt like being a spy, figuring out this different world, and she was surprised by the lesson.
Which was?
Rich is good, but blueberry pancakes are better.
Yeah. That really nails it. The kid's view just cuts through all the adult stuff about wealth. Rich is defined by expensive, untouchable things. It felt limiting, stressful.
Right.
True riches, for Junie B anyway, turned out to be comfort, freedom, feeling safe, and simple pleasures, like pancakes.
So connecting this back to you, the listener, Junie B's adventure really makes you think about our own ideas of value, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Is rich just about having impressive stuff you can't really touch? Or is it more about comfort, ease, freedom, just being able to be without worrying you'll break something?
Yeah, Junie B's trip suggests that while the shiny car and sparkly lights grab your eye initially, the real value might be in the things that actually nourish you, make you feel safe enough to, well, bounce, even metaphorically.
So maybe think about the riches in your own life. Are they the things that are just for show, that make you anxious?
Or are they the experiences, the comforts that feel like a million bazillion blueberry pancakes?
Yeah.
Enjoyed without fear, maybe even out of a plastic cup. Something to chew on.